TIFU by hooking up with professor's daughter. TLDR professor I hate caught me with his daughter and I have his final tomorrow. Final failure, daughter railer. Better question is what is he doing walking in on his daughter? Especially one that is 25. If he fails you hard, rail his daughter harder. I feel like this is grounds for either getting him recused from grading your paper, or getting a remark from someone else. You put the D in his daughter so he's gonna put a D in your grade book. This happened. Whoa bro, don't be silly, wrap your willy. You raw dogged a rando you had never met who let you fuck her within minutes of meeting. Your dick is gonna fall off bro. Practicing for your creative writing class I see. This seems not quite real. I've heard of some quick pulls on Tinder from better looking friends and even I have had quick luck, but never have I heard something that quick. There is at least a date or something first. A quick chat and she invites you over and immediately lets you hit it. I don't believe that. She invited me over to her apartment. Does she live in an apartment? Get the fuck out of my house. Or at her parents' house, I'm confused. Were you not in a bedroom? WTF is going on here? You're writing fanfiction when you should be studying for your test, you fucking walnut. It sucks you're going to fail your ancient literature exam, but on the bright side, I'm sure you'll ace your creative writing exam because this little story you made up was quite imaginative. Yeah. Not buying this. We also need to talk about this guy raw dogging random Tinder hookups. That's the biggest fuck up of them all. Either that, or ops a sociopath. That happened. This is definitely made up. Dude, why are you raw dogging a stranger? Geez, kids these days are why we have super gonorrhea. Definitely don't become a writer. Yeah, sure. This story is the dumbest made-up story posted here recently. I'd be questioning why my father is barging in my room when I'm a 25-year-old adult. Wrap that shit up, B. Dear Penthouse Forum. You're never going to believe this but, As an aside, does a Tinder swipe really amount to a quick hookup setup? I can't imagine inviting someone just for a 20-minute quickie. But I am an aging millennial in a happy long-term relationship, so what do I know? Invited to a college-age woman's apartment, but then the father casually opens the door and lets himself in. Yeah, BS. Something is not right. You hear footsteps and you stay in your sex position instead of putting on your clothes. So were you boning in the living room or did he just walk into her daughter's bedroom without knocking or saying anything? Makes no sense. Yeah, I'll call BS on this one. Good news is that if she dumps you, you can get payback by sleeping with her dad. Stay up, king. I didn't know you could put so many plot holes in a story this short. Your literature professor must be disappointed for multiple reasons. Raw dogging his daughter. No condom with a Tinder hookup. I can see why you're struggling in school. Not very bright. You're never gonna pass ancient literature if you spend all your time on creative writing. There's nothing for it. You have to raw dog the professor, so he has something else to think about. This reads more like a hookup between your 20 and she was barely 18, if not 17. No way he wouldn't knock or a 25-year-old's door, let alone her living there. Pile of feces. Funny story, too many holes in your wedge of cheese though. GIF Giphy EOUEZI I5 BBR8 UK downsized. Sounds like a Seth Rogen movie. False. She got the D but you got the F. You suckers actually believe this. LMAO. Professor, you know the difference between this final and your daughter. What? I didn't nail the final. Wait. Do people just go straight from Tinder to fucking these days? Like, not even a cup of coffee first? Tell him that she is pregnant, but you are prepared to marry exchange for a passing grade. Professor, this was a warning shot. How's the wife? Do people actually believe any of this? A completely totally true story. Sounds like a conflict of interest. Any organization that allows a person of power to directly damage someone's life is pretty corrupt at its core. Bang the dad next to established dominance. But also this sounds like a story straight out of a porno with some dialogue first. Did she MSG you after that? I can't imagine a world where a college professor is mad at his 25-year-old adult daughter getting laid. I just can't. Some people out here raw dodging strangers like AIDS doesn't exist. LOL, it's the best that could happen. You have based to have someone else grade your test. Universities do that to avoid bias, so call the department head and ask for it. Tell them what happened. This dude raw dogged a Tinder hookup immediately. Next grade will be AA venereal D. Walking into the class, straight up to his desk and put an apple on it, then go sit down. 25-year-old girl invited you over to her apartment, but dad walks straight in and yells, "Get out of his house." If you're gonna make up a story, at least keep it consistent. Might be too late for this, but you should email the department chair, explain the situation using more formal language, and request that your final be reviewed by the chair or an alternate professor to prevent any effect on your grade, real or imagined. There once was a student with stress who Tindered while prepping for tests. A girl he did rail. Now he'll probably fail. But the story's made up, I profess. I am a typical university student just trying to get through finals week. How do you do, fellow kids? Are you sure he didn't have next? This would 100% be the plot of one of those teen movies from the 90s and noughties, if Tinder had existed back then. If he is professional, he's mad at you as a dad and not as a professor. She was 25. This definitely happened. Do we learn paragraphs in college? You wouldn't fail your grandchild's father, would you? We're family now after all. He might be a strict grader, but I think you should report him to the dean if you think he let this event affect how he grades you. Actual professors don't let shit like this affect a student's grade. Bro, I think she's a lil older 'cause she's married to your professor. Anyone who went to college knows that they don't grade by name or face. Update PLS. We need an update in approximately 12 hours. I would go up to his boss early in the morning and explain the situation, and if you can't find his boss, then the dean. Explain what happened and provide evidence. I'm sure they will change the person who grades your paper. Or maybe they'll fire him if he doesn't own up to it. Go down swinging, give your review of his daughter on the back. Just start calling him dad if he fails you. Lip. Mate, be sure to remind him how well he handled dealing with his adult daughter's private life. What a loser. Take a screenshot of your match on Tinder. If you fail the exam, you can show it to the school and you have a very good case for retaliation for what professor caught. Point of clarification: how do we know this was his daughter and not his wife or girlfriend? I mean, the situation is embarrassing, but if your 25-year-old daughter lives with you, it's gonna happen. Why is he just barging in? Dude needs to learn to knock. Unless she was his wife or GF. You sure it was his daughter and not his